¿Cómo están con todos nuestros espectadores? Estamos acá de VR Magazine entrevistando. Tenemos el honor de entrevistar a Jacob van Rips. Él es el socio fundador y arquitecto principal del estudio holandés MVRDV. Y una breve explicación para los que tienen esa incógnita: las siglas del estudio son los apellidos de los fundadores del estudio. Jacob, cuéntanos un poco de ti, cuéntanos cómo, cuándo, dónde nace tu interés por la arquitectura, tu preparación académica, tu desarrollo personal y qué es lo que más te apasiona de esta carrera.
First of all, thanks for this nice reception and really interesting that we have this discussion, and I always like to hear our name in Spanish, MVRDV. And our name is this kind of, these 5 letters. We are 3 persons, and in different languages it sounds very different. We say MVRDV.
In Spanish sounds good too.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Okay.
It rhymes.
Right. But anyway, so I this year it's more or less almost 30 years ago that we started the company, actually collaborating together, and then next year we really officially have the 30 years. So it's quite a time, and but we're still having sort of fun doing what we like to do. I think that's luckily we're lucky in that sense, I think. So that I think is important that we have this. Keep up the spirit, and not only between the starting members, but also of the whole staff. We have now 300 people instead of 3, and that's an incredible journey. But it also offers new opportunities and new, not really problems, but you have to look at, you have to organize yourself a bit, and but it also makes it possible to come here and spend some time over here without being too much stressed out.
Okay. Your passion, where you find your passion in the architecture?
Well, that discovering and realizing new things. That we try to not repeat ourselves too much, even though of course you develop your own style, and then certain ideas lead to another development, sort of evolution. We call it. That's you learn from previous experiences, and in the next project. So some ideas come together in a different way, and I think that's also happening in the project that we do in Guayaquil.
Okay. Bueno, igual nos has hablado un poco también del estudio de arquitectura, entonces voy a ir directo a un poco el motivo de esta entrevista, y es The Hills, primer proyecto en Sudamérica, ¿verdad? ¿Qué sintieron? ¿Cómo fue el proceso? ¿Quién los brifió? ¿O ustedes vinieron e hicieron un levantamiento, un estudio? O sea, ¿cómo llegan ustedes al proyecto? ¿Cómo ustedes llegan al proyecto final de The Hills? Porque, percepción nuestra es uno de los proyectos más bonitos que se va a levantar acá en la ciudad. Entonces, ¿cómo llegan ustedes a eso?
Yeah. Project of your company here in Latin America, and they're very proud of it. They think it's one of the nicest in the city. Well, they want to know, how did you land on this project? Did someone brief you on the area, or did you just come and do a study of the area and land on the project? How did you arrive here?
Yeah, no, that's an interesting story, of course, and we have been, not that we have not been in South America, but this is going to be the first real. Buildings, let's say. I think this is, so there have been always an interest in our work in Latin and South America. That maybe, so it was made to happen. But it took a bit longer. I think that's I think what is going. But now we have maybe wait for the right moment. I think we have to find a good opportunity, a nice combination of partners. We have a great client, a city that is also maybe slightly hungry for something that we could maybe offer. Maybe so that the moment was right. I think that was about it. We have been giving lectures. We had interviews, and there was a small project in Bogota that we did, which was an exhibition. There's always been links. People from different countries of South America have been working at our office. So it was just the time was there. I think let's say it like that. And we got call from Uribe Schwarzkopf. We have been following them. I think they have been following us, and I think they said, well, this is maybe something for MVRDV, and we're super happy that this is the first one for them in Guayaquil, but also the first one for us in Ecuador.
That's very nice, because they're very big in Quito.
Yeah,
This is the
course.
first project here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you a question quoting you, because I read about you, and I'm going to say this in Spanish. Using your words, did you satisfy your client with this project, or you unexpectedly did something better? You know what
I
I'm
think
talking about.
I
love it.
I think that this is from a, maybe I'm not sure if I have this in the lecture, but the question was from an Indian client. I want to make you to make me happy.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think Joseph Schwarzkopf is here. You have to ask him. But indeed, if you do what is expected, sometimes you have to do the unexpected, and so this client we was about what do you want? Well, I don't know what I want. You're the architect. No, then this is a bit easy. Yeah. Give me a bit more. Then he said, well, I want you to make me happy. And so that was a great answer. But I think in a way, if you it's not only making your client happy, but making people living in your building or looking at your building, give them some kind of moment of joy.
Okay. No, I love the project. Congratulations, it's exquisite. And here Guillermo has a few more architecture questions.
I'll go in English so we can go faster.
Yeah.
The Hills is a project that seems to have a dialogue with the local architecture, with its more orthogonal or somewhat traditional facade, versus that disruptive and organic interior, right? So my question is there a real dialogue, and if so, what would be the main difference between this project and projects that have a similar conceptual approach, like the Oasis and the Valley, that seem to have like this facade more orthogonal and
well, they're part of a family maybe, and the family have been raised in different places in the world. So there's a link, but there's also a local difference, and of course the conditions in Amsterdam or Guayaquil is very different, but on the other hand, people are people, and so how to make they want the same things sometimes, but they want it in a slightly different way, or there are other regulations, or there are other climate issues, or there's another vibe in the city. There's another vibe in Guayaquil, totally different than in the Netherlands. So when we come as outsiders, we also be like, okay, we don't want to kind of be too much like disruptive, so to say. We try to find something that is not an alien, not a Fremdkörper, as they say in German. Strange body. What's Fremdkörper is a word, maybe never mind. And it's like somehow it's strange, but it doesn't. So it's like the Bilbao Museum. That's like it's like it's landed from somewhere. We have a different approach. So we looked at from a maybe almost cliche way at Guayaquil. And these kind of two elements struck our minds. On one hand, this sort of new development along the Malacon with the white buildings versus the more informal hills of Santa Ana with the little houses and the colors. Of course, there's more identities than that, but as the location is really close to the combination of that, we thought, okay, why don't we just, instead of making another white building, do something that is making a kind of connection between these two incredible contrastful worlds.
Yes. Nice.
I think the balance is perfect. It's not like so disruptive, but it is disruptive.
Now, and you mentioned about the differences in culture, right? So my next question will be, in your designs, such as the, I don't know how to pronounce this, but the Tenjin Binal Rari, the one that is all curved. You did this design to stimulate visitors to read more and have a discussion, and you're trying to stimulate the behavior, the social behavior. So my question is do you have this approach in every project, and if so, here, how was this approach and what are you expecting to stimulate in the local culture?
Now this is the library in China. People make a journey to go there to see the space, and it's in a way that means it's a promotion for to invite people to read more, maybe. But also a place where we can meet together. I think that, and this is what we, in a different way, do in the Hills building. That is, we don't want to make anonymous architecture, but we like to bring the people together, and that can be done very differently in different elements and different type of buildings. But in this case, you have the common areas, you have the garden, but you also see your neighbors. You're not, and they have they're part of the same. It's almost like it's not really a village, but it is some kind of a neighborhood, like a barrio. The hills will be. Maybe there will be people. They can maybe. We have in other buildings that people identify themselves with the building where they live, and that would be nice. Yeah.
So you expect that to be like more contained, or to have like
no, but they are maybe you have people that identify themselves as living maybe in the hill on Santana. They're proud of that. If you could do something similar in a new building with high rises, that would be very nice. So that the people that are they're all bought an apartment, they start to move in. There is a community coming together. And of course it's very different when you have a gated community that you have a lot of them here as well. It will be there's similarities, but also very much differences, and the fact that people are quite dense together, but at the same time have great views and live their lives independently. They could also meet each other, and that would be nice. Maybe it's a bit naive, but I think that's what we like to do.
No, here in Guayaquil we are very friendly, so I'm pretty sure they're going to get together.
Okay.
I mean, at least in the social area.
Like a last question. I mean, the project, I think it lands perfect here. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And to the local architects, there's a lot of local talent that see this project and they admire it, and they want to do more like this.
Okay.
So it's not a question about how to do it, it's a question of how to approach the client, because usually for the local architect it's harder to go to the local clients and say we want to do something different, something like you're doing right now. So what would you recommend to them to approach the clients?
I think maybe the fact that the project is well received, it might make people, other clients, other people that want to do something, they might make them aware that it makes sense to try out different things instead of sticking to the same, and hopefully that helps other architects to do something else. And maybe on the last ticket, speaking about Ecuadorian architects, we were also looking at Ecuador, but then you see this exciting, more or less small-scale community projects that come from your country that are also very inspiring for us. There seems to be also a lot of possibilities in that part. It's a lot of freedom doing things, making recycling, organic and sustainable architecture with a very little money. So we in the University of Berlin invited, for instance, Alborde to talk on Zoom for the students in Berlin, and it was a fantastic lecture. So that's nice. So we have to interact and we have to change. Also, to collaborate.
I'm pretty sure that this project is going to open doors for new projects. I'm pretty sure of that. And because the time is short, some recommendations for future architects here. You're in a university here. You're going to do a speech. So for our community, for our professionals and future architects, some recommendations from your experience?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here, of course, for this lecture, and that's why I'm also giving a kind of overview and not sticking only to the latest work, but also show a little bit how things come together. And of course, it's important that you have to try out and try out different things and not be too scared. But of course, it's easier said than done, and I think but making stuff, it can also be a small pavilion is already a first step. And we were, for instance, super happy to make that small pavilion in Bogota, which was not a big, expensive thing, but it was an incredible journey. And that can be as cool as making a big building as well. And that's what we.
Well, the architecture is everywhere, in something small, something big.
You can have the same sort of passion in that.
Okay, Jacob, thank you very much for the interview, for BR Magazine,
okay,
and for being here in Ecuador.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.